What's up, you guys? What is going on? In this video right here, I'm going to be going over how to make a game-winning business plan for this year, for 2022 and going into 2023, you guys. I want to give you guys the nitty-gritty and set you guys up for success. For those of you guys who have not seen any of my videos, I help people launch businesses online. I help people find funding for their businesses. I do all of this for free in my Facebook group, YouTube channel. Why? Because I want you guys to win. I want you guys to find out how good it is to have additional streams of income coming in from online businesses. But more importantly, you guys, the number one thing that I see where most businesses fall apart is lack of planning. And that's why the bright idea of making a video about how to create a business plan popped up in my mind. I'm like, you know what? We're definitely going to do this. I'm definitely going to show you guys how to create a business plan. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you guys just a quick example of one of my business plans. I have 3 businesses that I run successfully. I'm about to launch my 4th. I want to give you guys just a quick glimpse of like what a good business plan would look like. So you guys can start thinking about how are you going to create yours and what the feel and look is going to look like. Okay. So first things first, if you guys don't know what a business plan is, then you really need to sit down and do your research. And the first place I want to send you is to the Small Business Administration page, sba.gov. And on there, there's a ton of information and there's a ton of tools where you can create your own business plan. But let me explain something to you, because their information is very general. It's very basic. It's for new entrepreneurs, obviously, but I don't think they go in enough detail that someone who's brand new like yourself would need to know as far as creating a business plan. I coach and I help clients of mine who've been in business for like 12 years, 14 years, and have never had a business plan. And I'm telling you guys right now, with a lack of planning, it will reflect on your income for most people. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Other than having a lack of a business plan, the second biggest thing that people lack is funding. Do you guys realize your business plan and funding can actually work hand in hand together? I mean, you can attract more lenders from banks. You can attract more investors, partners. You can attract all kinds of people with having a rock solid plan. And I promise you guys, it doesn't have to be as daunting as you think it is. It will, however, require work. It's just like if a person is working on a credit score and their credit score is hanging in the low 5s and they want to be 800s. I tell them, hey, how many times do you check your credit report? And if they tell me, oh, well, like every year when it's free, I tell them, you might want to be in there every week until you get to where you want to be. You need to be in that plan as much as possible, revising it, changing directions, because your business plan tells the story of where you are and where you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years. I want to cover with you guys some of the mistakes I've seen with business plans. All right. But one of the things that I tell people all the time is when you lack a plan and you lack direction, that usually tells me that's the reason why you don't have a business plan. People hire these fancy business coaches that kind of dangle like all these things like, hey, build a funnel, do the perfect webinar. Here's a perfect sales thing. Here's a perfect marketing thing. But they skip over the basic business necessities, business plan, getting business funding. All right. That's the number one thing. When people come into my Dream Builders Academy, I tell them, you're going to get money first. I need you to get cash because I don't need you in my program stressing out about not having cash. All right. You paid good money to come into my program and now you don't have any money in your pockets. And now you're digging through credit cards, and you're maxing out like all these different things. Like, don't do that. But you need direction. You need someone that's going to help guide you. And there's free resources, you guys. So if you're in a position right now where you cannot hire a business coach, you go to a company called Score. All right. Score is a free company, the SBDC, which is the Small Business Development Center. Every county has one across the United States. And if it's not in your specific county, sometimes counties share an SBDC and sometimes representatives will come to your direction. But whatever the case may be, you can get free business coaching from these companies if you cannot afford a high performing coach. All right. So please don't think that you're doomed because you don't have capital right now to hire a business coach. Go get yourself a free coach to get yourself started. I promise you, they are good. I used their services before. They helped me understand business credit. They helped me understand how to get funding. I mean, I credit a lot of my gains and a lot of my wins to the Small Business Development Center and to SCORE. They really helped me buckle down and pay attention to the boring stuff other than chasing the next new shiny thing. All right. The next thing you need to do is you want to make sure when you're writing your business plan, you want to make sure that you're persuasive. Why? Because think about not just yourself, but think about your team. Think about partners. Think about investors, people who you're trying to ask money for. They're probably going to ask you, if you're asking for large sums of money, they're probably going to ask you, can I see your business plan? Can I see, like, what are you projecting? What are your challenges? What are your roadblocks? Like, what do you see? Now, you're not writing this business plan to give them a bunch of different, like, definitions and terms. That's not what people are looking for when they want to see your business plan. They want to see, what's your experience? What are you bringing to the table? Who's on your team? Or, like, how are you going to structure your team to be successful in the business that you're operating? And if you don't have this information, you're going to fall very short on exactly what you're trying to accomplish. So again, guys, remember, this is not just for lenders, but this is also for your team. This is for you. This is for you guys to go back. This is like your battle plan is really what it is. And you need to make sure that you understand what you're up against, the data, and what's supporting, like, your assumptions for your business. All right. Now I'm going to get to the part where I'm going to tell you guys how to do this easily without getting stressed out that you can't get nothing done. All right. So now that you're persuasive, you need to know your data. Whether if you do the market research or you do something like I do, I always hire virtual assistants to do, like, a lot of things I don't like to do. I do have a graduate degree from college, but let me tell you, if I knew there was a such thing as a virtual assistant when I was going through college, I would have hired one, and they definitely would have helped me get through college a lot easier, because finding data is just not something I enjoy doing. Hiring a VA, paying them a little bit of money to go get this information that's going to help me support my assumptions for my business, that is gold right there. All right. But nonetheless, you need to know the data. You need to know what's going on in your industry. Okay. The next thing you need to do is you need to know what's trending, what can impact your business, and put that in your plan. Okay. Like the war in Ukraine, like, does it affect you? Does it affect supplies coming to you? Traveling, commuting. One of the things that really affected my business was we were not pandemic proof. Okay. So what happened? It forced me to go online. So now, like, when I write my business plans, I always write worst case scenarios. If the market crashes, if something happens, pandemics hit, no one's working, no one has money, like, these are things that I need to think about and keep in the plan while it's still relevant. COVID is still relevant, y'all. It really is. Recessions, stock market crashing, all these things are still relative, and you need to keep in mind they're very real things that can happen in very real time. So please, please, please do yourself a favor and think about what's going on and what's trending in the world, what can support your business. Maybe TikTok added a new feature that you can leverage and you can put in your plan. Maybe, like, there's a new thing that, like, gives you more exposure that you can say, hey, we're going to use this thing to give us more exposure, more leads, make more money. All right. So there's all kinds of things you can add. Don't just write for the banks, write for yourself, write for your team to understand what is your vision and your plan. Okay. So let me ask you guys a quick question. And you guys can put this in the comment, and you can be honest with me, fully transparent if you like to call yourself out. But why do you think most people don't have a plan? Because I didn't have a plan for the very longest. It wasn't until, like, again, I hired virtual assistants to kind of help me piece together the moving parts. I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew the vision. But I needed to articulate it into a way it would make sense to my team and the people who were surrounding me, and lenders and banks and investors. Okay. So why don't you have a plan? Well, number one, you don't have a team. You're doing everything by yourself. You're trying to figure it out on your own, and it's frustrating. It's overwhelming, and you got to think about making money. You got to think about branding. You got to think about sales. It's overwhelming, you guys, and I understand. But you got to realize that if you don't have a plan and you don't have capital, those are the two number one things that why most new businesses fail. Okay. So if you attack those top things, those top reasons why businesses fail, you're more likely to succeed and thrive. And sometimes when you're in business and you make the first couple sales and you start making a little bit of money, invest in a team, whether if it's staff that's working with you locally, or if it's a virtual assistant that's working with you over online. Like my business is 100% online. Well, one of my businesses is, should I say, and I have a team of virtual assistants. They do projects on demand. So I only pay for them when I need them. If I need a website built, they'll build one up in a couple of days. I don't have time to build a website, y'all. I don't got time to find domains and do all. I tell them what I need. They go do it. I don't got time to do my bookkeeping. I have a virtual assistant that does that. Building business plans, it's important, but I don't got time for it. So I have virtual assistants do it. So again, the next one is lack of time. If you want to duplicate your time without you losing sleep and you just wasting time doing things that someone getting paid minimum wage or less can do for you, then you need to pay someone minimum wage or less to get the job done so you can focus on other things. And those people probably have experience. They're probably better than you at it, and they can get it done in less than half the time than if you did it by yourself. Sometimes it's okay to spend a little bit of money to get your business where it needs to be versus pinning it off for the next 3 years, 5 years and longer, and then you're wondering why you're always just barely making it. You're just barely paying your bills. It's because you have no plan. You're just kind of winging your business and just kind of hoping things will one day, someday pick up for you. That's not how you run a successful business, you guys. Being overwhelmed, that's a very true factor. Most people get overwhelmed and they don't know how to operate and run a business. Do me a favor. If any of these things, lack of a team, lack of time, or being overwhelmed, if you can relate to that, just type in the number 1 for me in the comments. Just give me a number 1 in the comments if you know exactly what I'm talking about, because I need to know that I'm not the only one. All right. I've done this before. I've been there before, but other people need to know as well. They need to know that they're not alone when it comes to running a business, trying to make some money. All right. So let me tell you guys some key areas you want to make sure you include in your business plan. And I'm going to show you guys my business plan, but I want to show you guys, some key areas you want to take in consideration. Take in consideration finances. Have a financial forecast. Talk about how much your services will be, how much you're going to charge, what some of your expenses may be. You can break it down generally, so if someone's reading it, they can see you have an idea of everything you're talking about. And if you want to have a separate Excel spreadsheet with all the small integral details, that's great, because they can go together, they can accompany each other. But in your business plan, talk about what are your operating expenses, what are your marketing expenses, employees, staff, all these expenses that you need to take care of. Make sure you know your financials. Here's one that's going to surprise you guys, including family. Yeah, that's a weird one, right? You're not going to find that on SBA.gov website. You're not going to find that on other sites, but including family, sometimes the reader or the partner or the investors want to know, how do you take care of yourself without getting burnt out? How are you going to take care of your employees with family time? Do they get paid time off? Do they get holidays? Do you foster care, mental health days, mental awareness days? Again, goes back to trending. What's trending right now? Mental health awareness. People are falling apart mentally. People are dreading their jobs. How are you going to take care of your people and their family and your family? These are things that you can write in your plan and stand out from the rest, so you don't blend in with everybody else's plans that just looks like a bunch of definitions and no real person behind the pen. All right. Think about your business. All right. Think about what you want your business to be, where you're at and where you need to be, and be honest that without funding, without finances, these are our challenges. Just letting your investors and your partners and the lenders be aware that this is why it's so important. This plan is showing us these are things that we need to execute on. And without doing that, we will fail. And I'm just being transparent because this is a well thought out plan, and I know our strengths and I know our weaknesses. Personal development. Lenders, investors, they love to know that you're going to constantly get smarter. You're going to constantly invest in yourself. You're going to enroll in these things. You're going to have continuous education for your staff, your employees, and yourself. You don't know it all. So please don't try to pretend like you got it all figured out. Let them know you're going to continuously work on your plan. You're going to update your business plan quarterly. You're letting them know how often you're in your business plan, so they feel like, okay, this person is completely in tune with the industry they're in. They know what they're doing. And this is a person that we can definitely back financially and then spiritually. You guys, before I share my business plan, I'm telling you guys right now, it's so important to take care of your mental health. When I talk about spirituality, I'm talking about mental health, guys. I'm talking about your own personal energy without going through the burnout. I'm not talking about financial burnout. I'm talking about mental burnout. Because if you're doing everything, you're doing the marketing, you're doing the sales, you're doing the website build out, you're just trying to do it all on your own. And a lot of new entrepreneurs, they make this critical mistake. And I don't care how big or how small your business is, it's a critical mistake to try to do everything all of the time. Eventually, you're going to have to hire people. Eventually, you got to understand how bringing someone into your business is going to help you grow your business. If your goals is just to be a small mom and pop shop working out of your house and just selling things on Etsy, there's nothing wrong with that if that's your vision for yourself. But if you have big goals and you want to make 6 figures, 7 figures a year or more, and you want to do these great things, well, you're going to have a team. You're going to have a team, and don't delay it, because you're going to hit a ceiling, and I'm telling you, you're going to get frustrated, and then you're going to find yourself losing money because you just can't keep up with the business flow. All right. And you don't want to do that. So what I want to do is I just want to share you guys like a draft of one of my newer business plans. I got 2 different drafts I can share with you guys. But the cool thing about this draft I want to share with you guys is that this business plan right here, it's the appeal. Because you don't want it to be just like one long Word doc with a couple bold, captions and titles. You want it to be able to be easily read by the reader, the person who's looking at it, and what's going to attract them. So I always have my virtual assistant. He's amazing. I have him give me a couple of different looks, and he gives me like a template that how he's going to build everything out. And then from there, I beef it up. So I'm going to show you guys what a business plan looks like in the beginning stages to give you guys, get your wheels turning on like what yours should look like. There's nothing wrong with kind of starting off plain Jane, but when you step your game up, you're going to see that like, wow, my business plan can totally look different. It can totally look better just by making a few tweaks or hiring somebody that knows what the heck that they're doing. So right here, whoops, let me go ahead and scoot this back. I went just a little too far. There we go. So my consulting agency right here just kind of shows when we're established. It has the table of contents right there, my executive summary, and you can kind of see like the logo right there at the top, like the colors flow, like the structure of it. I just wanted to be very easily read, something that's nice, have some photos and everything that's relative to my business. Relative information and all that good stuff, like titles and regulations that my business fall under. These are all important things that I wanted my VA to put in there. Some of the costs of some of my services, like he adds all those in there. And again, it just makes it very easy for the reader to look over. It's attractive and it's easy on the eyes, and then another thing is I tell them like, hey, give me a couple different looks, change the colors up. Let me see some of the colors. Let me see if like it looks better, if it's more appealing to the reader, because again, I want them to be locked in. I want them to see like what my plan looks like. Now, this is just like a rough draft. This is not even a completed version of a business plan, but you can see like how much work that he put in just a few hours of work. And some people will take years to build a business plan. You could tap the shoulder of a virtual assistant that understands market research and then has a little bit of design skill. Have yourself a beautiful made plan without, having to deal with all like the nuance of trying to do it yourself and trying to research it yourself, you guys. So anyways, my big offer to you guys, if you want to build a business plan and you're still a little lost on what to do, and you find that yourself, spinning your wheels, you're frustrated, you're overwhelmed, you feel like you don't have time, what I'm offering you guys is, if in the comments below and you're serious about making a business plan, I will give you guys a free coaching call specifically about your business plan. I'll give you a free 10 to 15 minute call to talk about your business, talk about what you should do and how you can execute it. I have nothing to sell you, but you have everything to gain. I will offer that to you guys while my time permits. If my time doesn't permit after this video is made, then I'm sorry for you. But put in the comments right there, I'm in. Put in the words, I'm in. And what I'll do is I'll reach out to you and I'll see like what's a good time for me and a good time for you. And we'll hop on a call. I'll give you 10 to 15 minutes of my time to discuss your business and how you can create a business plan easily. All right. It's really important you have a business plan. It's really important that you have business funding so you can have the capital to actually own and operate your business and make it work for you. All right. So anyways, guys, thank you as always for joining my videos, checking it out. Hopefully this information has brought you some value. And as always, don't forget, follow me, share the love, share my videos, do what you got to do, but make sure, most importantly, you take care of you and take care of your business, because that's what matters at the end of the day. I'll see y'all later.